Vince Lombardi, football coach, said this: leaders aren't born, they are made, just like anything else, through hard work. And with all due respect, Mr. Lombardi, I say that leaders are born. I believe we are born into a natural propensity to have something in our heart that we believe in so much that we will attract, inspire, and lead people on a journey to get that purpose fulfilled. That to me is what natural born leadership is about. And we all have it innately. You know, I'm coaching a young aspiring leader right now. He's a young man, he's a vice president of a company, and it's sort of leadership is new for him. And, you know, I remember him telling me something. He had a natural purpose that he aspired towards, something that was near and dear to him. And he had told me about it. And I thought, oh my gosh, I just get tingles when I hear you talk about it. And then he said, but you know, I'm going to change it because I'm a leader now. So I needed to sound more, like a leader would sound. And I said, what? Your purpose is your purpose. It's what inspires you. It's what's going to inspire others, lead others in the direction of that purpose. Don't go changing and making some old leadery type purpose just for the sake of it. I'm going to share with you how you can tap into your natural born leadership and lead like you've never, ever been able to lead before. The Greater Advantage is actually my business name. I've had that business for about 15 years now, and I am on a mission to take the what I affectionately call $1 million corporate strategies that I was certified in and take them from the ivory towers of where I was at the time, one of the largest corporations in the world, and bring them down to small business owners and entrepreneurs and people who are leading their own lives and their own careers, or um, you know, everyday people that don't typically have access to these strategies. And then the Greater Advantage also stands for I am a woman of faith. And so I believe that the greatest advantage is when you connect what you do to a higher power and a higher purpose. I was inspired to this particular topic by the Harvard Business Review, the spring 2020 edition of their magazine, and it is entitled How to Lead with Purpose. And they're giving advice on building your mission, guiding your team, and creating greater social value. And they have a lovely picture of a bird. It looks like the bird is just singing and just doing a call, a clarion call for people to get on purpose. And it really inspired me. And I'm recording this on a Sunday. So I would love to share with you that I got my confirmation this morning. I was at eChurch. I was listening to Bishop T.D. Jakes in Texas, and I was online listening, and he confirmed because the sermon today was about purpose. And I got completely clear this weekend of my purpose, and he confirmed that for me. And so I knew that I was doing the right thing with having this topic of leading on purpose. Today, I'm just really sharing with you the big idea of leading on purpose. There are really three pillars that I want to position for you. Leading on purpose is about leading with style, leading with substance, and leading with strategies. A leader is one who is aware of a bold purpose and courageous enough to inspire others to align with their purpose to achieve. So a leader is, first of all, aware that they have a purpose. And I think that there's a sort of an onion layer of purpose. You can be a purpose driven person. You know, I've always been a purpose driven person. I'm someone who looks for service and dedication to a cause. I need to be outside of myself for a job or a project to be exciting. Even me and my friends, we're usually rallying around something, and that's the majority of our conversation where we're not just giggling about silly things. It's like about something bigger than ourselves. So you can be purpose driven in that way, and that's, you know, what you're drawn to. But I also then believe we each have a purpose, and we have a purpose that we are doing, and we do it in the form of a job, most of us, or maybe a business, our own practice, and you are making, you know, a customer, a patient, a client, a student, you're making their life better. And that's your purpose. And then there's your higher purpose. Let me just give you an example. There was a gentleman that I knew who, one of my colleagues was his coach, and I was supporting this team as well. And they did not have a purpose yet. And he was concerned because he thought that his purpose was so big that it would frighten the team. And I remember us telling him that no, your team is actually like frustrated because they don't know where you want to take this thing, and they want to know. And I remember we were calling him sweaty palms because his hands were just sweating and perspiring, thinking about articulating his purpose for the first time. And when he finally did, and his team finally found out, I mean, it just changed everything. And in his business, he happens to be a doctor, so his business purpose is to get, you know, his patients healthy, and even to get his surrounding community healthy. But man, oh man, he has a higher purpose of getting his entire region, you know, his whole city healthy. And that takes a connecting of sorts of not only him as a doctor, but other doctors, so that there's no competition, there's collaboration and unity and oneness to achieve this higher purpose. And he was just on the news, and I saw him, and I was thinking to myself, wow, he really truly is a purpose driven man who is fulfilling a purpose. And while he's fulfilling that purpose, he was sharpening his saw for a higher purpose. So, what I want to do today is really lay out the big idea about leading on purpose, leading with style, leading with substance, and leading with strategies. Because I'm going to offer you an opportunity to take an assessment of your style to get prepared for the next week's podcast, where I'm going to really spend some time on leading with style. In doing so, I'm going to make a bold suggestion of a style that I recommend and that I see that's sorely lacking. I believe that if we all take it on, that it would decrease burnout, and it would really increase your results. The Gallup organization reminds us every couple of years that 70% of team members are disengaged, and 89% of managers believe that employees quit because they want more money, when in reality, only 12% actually leave an organization for more money. And, you know, another startling statistic is actually from the Harvard Business Review, a survey that said 58% of people say they trust strangers more than they do their own boss. And 3 out of 4 employees report that their boss is the worst and most stressful part of their job. And the average organization is 50% as productive as it should be, thanks to less than optimal leadership practices. So I want to share a quote from the Harvard Business Review, spring 2020, that inspired me to have this as my topic about leading on purpose. Articulating corporate purpose is a great idea, but before you launch your purpose campaign, put your own house in order. Otherwise, your efforts might be met with a collective, "you must be joking" response. And I think that's the fear that many leaders have. And the truth of the matter is, if you don't put your house in order, they will think it's a joke. If you're talking about a big, wonderful purpose, making the world a better place, and your desk is a hot mess and they can't even find anything when they come and see you, they're not going to have the confidence. If you're talking about a great big purpose, but you can't be on time to meetings or, you know, treat your team with respect, then they're not going to believe that we're going to make the world a better place. And I believe that when you answer that question about your purpose, you are really helping others to say, do I want to do it? Do I want to align my purpose with your purpose? Their purpose may be just like your purpose, or maybe in fulfilling your purpose, it's sharpening the saw for their higher purpose. So, before we get into the topic of leading with style and substance and strategies, I want to give you an opportunity to really think about your purpose. Leading on purpose and being a natural born leader starts with what's in your heart. Like, what is your purpose? And as I was preparing for this podcast, I shared with you that I got more and more clear on mine. It really was from the cover of the Harvard Business Review. When I saw that bird singing so beautifully on the cover, I realized that although I'm not a singer, I love to help people get in harmony. Harmony with themselves and their own purpose, harmony with their higher power and higher purpose, and harmony with one another so that you can fulfill a purpose. So I feel very much able to even say it now in one word. I've got my purpose down to one word, because sometimes our purpose statements are so wordy that nobody can really follow us. So I've gotten it down to one word: harmony. And I remember one of the leaders, she told me, she said, "That's what you did for us, Kim. You actually came in and helped me, the team leader, get along better with the CEO doctor." It was a dental practice. And she said, when you got us in harmony, then we were able to then work with our team in harmony. And then we were able to really get in sync with our patients in harmony, because we didn't have any disharmony or discord amongst ourselves. And we were in perfect harmony, right? And that's when the burnout went away, because it wasn't so stressful. And that is when the high performance kicked in. So that is my purpose, people. My purpose is harmony. What about you? I love what the Harvard Business Review said, that a purpose inspires the expression of the impact on their customer, their patient, their student, their clients' lives. So your purpose is something that is outside of you that impacts the life of those that are your customers, clients, patients, students. It personalizes your product or service. So your purpose is expressed based on the impact that you have on other people's lives. So think about your product, your service, what you're doing or going to do if you're a student. What is that impact on other people's lives? Think about that. That is your purpose. So now that you have an idea about what we're going to be talking about in this series, I want to offer you an opportunity to assess your current leadership style and get ready for the podcast on leading with style coming up next week. There's 7 styles that I want you to consider. And the first is authoritarian, someone who's, able to command and control and really get people to do what they think needs to be done. Style number 2 is charismatic. You have that charisma and that charm, and you can just about talk anybody into anything. A more Number 3, laissez-faire, relaxed, go with the flow type of style. Number 4, transactional. You have a give and take. You reward good behavior and you punish bad behavior. Um, and number 5, participative, that you're very inclusive and you can get people to, rally around the cause, if you will. And number 6, supportive. You're someone that maybe they call the mama bear. You take care of everybody, and that's your go to style to get people to do what they need to do. And number 7, servant leadership. Your natural propensity is to serve others and take care of them as they take care of your customers, your clients, your patients, your students. All right. So I don't want to give away which one is my recommended style, but I do want to say this: don't go changing, trying to please me. I'm not a really great singer, but I will say I'm not trying to change you. I honor whatever style you have naturally, and I also want to recommend which one that I think is sorely needed in today's world. So you have 2 coaching assignments, if you will, from Coach Kim Betty for the next podcast. And that is number 1, to begin to think about your purpose. And number 2, to assess your leadership style. And please share this with someone who you think could use a push in this direction so they can be a better leader and lead on purpose.